everybody. I am Kendall Smith back here on Give Me Five with a very special guest. You all probably know his name and you know that smile for sure. It is Nick Emmanwori out of Irmo High School, a recent signee for the South Carolina Gamecocks football team. And I would say his position, but he's like a hybrid defender. He's all over the place. You might see him at safety, linebacker. I mean, Coach Beamer even talked about it during his signing day press conference, Nick. He said all of the coaches are fighting over where you're going to play. So how does it make you feel that you're such a hot commodity and every coach on that team basically wants you in their position group?
It feels good. I remember when Coach White had called me on the phone call, or I think it was Coach Greg. Yeah, Coach Greg had called me on the phone call, and he was talking about he's fighting over there to get me at safety, and I heard they was talking about in meetings that they was fighting to get me at linebacker. So, and Coach Beamer said they was fighting to get me to rush the passer down to like edge position. But it's kind of funny because my brother trained me. I don't really train for one position. Like I train for everything. Like it's just really hard to explain. Like, but I train for I do everything. I do footwork. I do catching drills. I do DB drills, linebacker drills. I just train all around. So I'm always ready.
Wow, look at you. That is impressive. I guess it's going to be very interesting to see where you end up on the field next year. I did think it was really funny when Coach Beamer said everybody was fighting over you. They want the local Irmo standout in their position group. And you kind of talked about it there. I mean, you are so versatile. You are so athletic. I saw that you ran a 4.440 this past summer, which is pretty darn impressive. So Nick, if you could compare your game to one player in the NFL, who would you compare it
to? Great question. I be waiting for people to ask me that question because me and my brother always talk about like and my coaches, they say I'm just Derwin James like all around, like the perfect Derwin James, but I'll say Derwin James is kind of like my ceiling or somewhere I would like to be in my prime, so Derwin James is a good comparison, a great comparison, actually.
Wow, look at that. I mean, that's quite the compliment that people are comparing you to him because quite the athlete, as I said, and just so versatile and all over the place. So very exciting for you. It's a lot to live up to, but I know that you absolutely have the potential to get there. And Nick, we talked about it. You are from Irmo, South Carolina, so literally just right down the road from the University of South Carolina. You are going to school basically in your hometown. So when all of your future teammates come to town, Nick, what local spots do you absolutely have to take them to see?
A local spot I have to take them to would probably be a Waffle House, like, usually after games, like.
Yes.
A Waffle House after the game, that's top notch, or a Sonic. That's where everyone goes after the games. It's a good time. You get to meet new people and stuff. So, yeah, I'll bring it down to a Waffle House. Grab some waffles and stuff, grab some food, have a good time and chill.
You cannot go wrong with a Waffle House. And luckily for you, there's a Waffle House right next to Williams-Brice Stadium. There's a Sonic just right down the road. You've got Bojangles there as well. So a couple options. But Waffle House also being open at all hours of the day makes it extremely clutch because if you're hungry at like 1 or 2 in the morning, you can just go get a waffle from Waffle House. But you're from Irmo, go to Irmo High School. What has been your favorite off of the field high school memory so far in your high school career?
I think it's probably the recognition outside of school and like in school and just not on the field. That kind of still blows my mind. Just the recognition I'm getting. Like I probably get like hundreds of DMs on social media of like little kids saying they look up to me and like tell me just keep going and stuff. So the recognition outside the field and people in school just, showing me all types of love. That's just probably the craziest part about it all. Like the recognition by far.
I think that you were a part of one of the most recognized tweets on my Twitter, which actually was just a couple of weeks ago. I went to your signing day and I was interviewing you there and I was asking you about a message that you wanted to share with South Carolina Gamecock fans. And what'd you say? You remember what you said?
Clemson's on the clock.
Clemson is on the clock, and
Yeah.
everybody just loved that one. So, kind of expand on that more. I mean, what are some of your goals when you come and play at South Carolina?
Definitely to beat Clemson. Like that's what I was reading comments on the post you made, and they were like in the comments, just all the Clemson fans were just hating and all that stuff. But I definitely want to beat Clemson when I get up in South Carolina, either with our class or sometime down the road. But I keep telling everybody we're gonna get them. It's nothing against them. It's just it's just the big time rival. Like at Irmo, it's kind of like Irmo and Dust Fort.
Mm-hmm.
The games are always lit. It's packed, good rivalry. But that's probably like top of my bucket list, or like on my list of, of course, being successful, but especially it's really on my list just being Clemson. Like when I go to Carolina, that's one thing on my list for sure.
Well, I think Gamecock fans would literally love you forever, and they'd love the team forever if South Carolina were able to beat Clemson in your time. And I mean, all the recruits coming in, it is absolutely unbelievable. Shane Beamer just on a roll right now for South Carolina. But you talked a few minutes ago about the recognition that you're receiving and just getting so many DMs and so many people recognizing you and talking to you. But Nick, for people that you look up to, for your role models, if you were able to go out to dinner with anybody famous right now that you look up to, who would you go to dinner with? It's a tough question.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll probably go out with it would be an athlete. Probably an athlete I look up to, probably like maybe like LeBron James, or like somebody with a real good story, like someone I like. That's a real good question. It would either be like LeBron James, Tom Brady. Yeah.
I mean, having all of the GOATs at one table.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, LeBron James, GOATs from other sports. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Yeah. But speaking of food, speaking of going out to dinner, this is our staple question here on Give Me Five, because I asked Braden Davis back when he was my very first interview on the show if he had any weird food combinations that he likes to eat. And he said quesadillas and ketchup, which to me is just not right. So Nick, do you have any weird food combinations that you like to eat?
Good question. I eat spaghetti with ramen. I mean, wait, no. Ranch with spaghetti.
Ew, like when did you start doing that? That does not sound good. Oh, no.
Spaghetti, no. Ranch and spaghetti is top notch, 10 out of 10. I don't know when I started. My older brother actually like kind of put me on. Like I see him doing it. Like we're real young. Like I was probably like 7, 8, or 9. I see him doing it, and I just like a younger brother does. You copy your older brother. I did it. It was 10 out of 10. Like I can't explain how it tastes. It's just you have to find out for yourself. But spaghetti and ranch, top notch, best food combo.
I cannot wrap my head around that. I think I'm going to have to do a show where I try all of the class of 2022's weird food combinations. So I'll put spaghetti and ranch on the menu, quesadillas and ketchup. There have been some other really weird ones. Ryan Brubaker says he likes hot sauce on everything, and I don't like spicy food. So you guys are going to send me over the edge in this show, but I think I'm going to have to try everybody's weird food combinations at one point or another. Yeah. Next question, Nick, and this is very telling, I think, to a lot of people, because there is a hot debate about this. Are you a dog person or a cat person? You had to pick one. I mean, you probably like both.
I wouldn't say it would be a bad question, but I feel like when we're growing up and stuff, everyone always hates on cats for some reason. I never knew why. But, I feel like, I don't even say we're forced, but like we kind of like grew up to be dog lovers, and cats are kind of look at like as bad in the cartoons and stuff. So, dogs are cool and all, but until I had a pet kitten, I was like babysitting a pet kitten for like a week, and I think that changed me into a cat person.
Okay.
Reason like that kitten was just like, he was so chill, and he was cutting a little bit. He was going to my bed and stuff, and climbing the my room, on my climbing the trees and stuff. So want to say I'm a cat person, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm a dog on the outside, but cat on the inside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely like both. They're both super cute. I think some people have one that they definitely prefer over the other, but little kittens are really cute. I'm a dog person more so, I would say, but like I do think cats are super adorable. Now, Nick, you talked about your brother a little bit earlier, and I know he's trained you. He's been a huge inspiration to you throughout your football career. So kind of expand on that a little bit more and just talk to everybody about the relationship that you have with your brother.
Fun story. The brother I always mention, he's 3 years older than me, and we're 3 days apart from our birthday. His birthday is on the 10th. My birthday is on the 7th of February. And he's the fourth oldest brother. I have 4 brothers, and I'm the youngest. And so it's 5 of us in total. But he was the one that's just always stuck with sports. So, I mean, growing up, he's always been like a sports head. And, when he went to Irmo High, when he was a senior and I was a freshman, or even when I was in middle school, like he was just – you can ask anybody that went to Irmo during his time or any coach that's still there. He was probably the hardest workers that ever came through Irmo or been up there in the program. He's top-notch hard work, and he kind of chiseled me up to be what I am today. Like, I remember all those nights we used to be on the field when it's dark outside. We couldn't even see each other, and we would just be working, or he'll just tell me some stuff to keep in my back of my head. And I'll say that's one person that always believed in me no matter what. Like, he always believed in me. He never doubted me, not one bit. I remember times we used to be like this past offseason, like before my senior year, we were running the dam at least every day. Running the dam all the way there, no stops, taking like a 2-3 minute break and run all the way back Lake Mary Dam. And that's, it's just things like that just make you love the grind and stuff. So he's a big inspiration. I always look up to him. A lot of people say, like they ask me, or they'll say, who's better, me or him? And a lot of people may, people. I'm not sure if people may say it's me, but I always think it's him, like over me. He even tells me, like, oh, you're not better than me yet. You're real close, but not yet. So it's a lot more things I want to learn from him and stuff, and and get to where he's at one day. So.
Wow, I love that. And I love that you're playing so close to home. So hopefully your brother can come out and watch you at a ton of games, and that relationship is just fantastic. And the fact that you ran the Lake Murray Dam, I mean, I've driven past the Lake Murray Dam, and it's kind of a drive. So I couldn't even imagine running. So that grind is for real. Hats off to you for doing that. But you kind of talk about that and the things that set you apart as an athlete. What do you think, Nick, makes you so unique as the athlete that you are?
I'll say I'm real humble, and I'm always eager to learn. Like, and when I'm real. I don't want to say I'm real hard on myself, but I'm kind of hard on myself. Like, like I'll make a great play and I'll get up with no celebration, or like just little things like that. Like, I'm just real humble. Like, I always feel like I can get better and stuff. Like, I'm always seeking to be just like the best me. Like, someone told me like my best football is gonna be played in the future. Like, I'm not even playing my best football right now. Like, in the future, I kind of see my prime and see where I'm at. Like, see where I could be and where I want to be. Like, so I'm always humble and eager to learn and eager to get better. Like, I'm never satisfied. That's the end of the story. I'm never satisfied about nothing. Perfectionist.
Well, Nick, speaking of eager, I think Gamecock Nation is eager to get you on campus. They are eager to get you playing with the South Carolina Gamecocks. I know Gamecock Nation is going to love this interview on Give Me 5 on Gamecock Central. Thank you so much for joining me, and have the best time throughout the rest of your high school. And we will see you here this summer. I'm Kendall Smith. He's Nick Emmanwori, and this has been Give Me 5. We'll see you soon.
Oh. I always keep this with me too. I always
love it. I love it.
Monday, it's always with me.